During a House of Commons debate on winter fuel payments, a government insider quotes Chancellor Rachel Reeves's past comments to debunk her claim of a £22 billion black hole in the public finances. As always, we will check this clip in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest political news from across the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to Parliament Watch to keep up to date with all things Westminster. So as stated, during a House Commons debate, Dr. Luke Evans MP debunks Labour's biggest lie in Parliament. Have a watch.
That the now Chancellor on the 25th of March 2014 said, "We are the party that have said that we will cut winter fuel allowance for the richest pensioners and means test that benefit to save money." So this is not a response to a concocted black hole. This was a choice, and as Laura Klunsberg pointed out, a choice to pay the unions on the back of our pensioners. Now, the public aren't stupid. Now, I was in the chamber last week when the now Secretary of State for Energy Security turned around and said to the our side, "Show a bit of bravery, even break the whip, and stand out from the crowd." Well, I'm disappointed that his side didn't take that advice with only one.
Tough choices in government in year, because one of the challenges is that the hole in the public finances is not just about the whole today, but that in previous budgets, decisions were made to defer spending to later years. The winter fuel allowance, which we're discussing now, is a prime example of the problems that those cliff edges create. And addressing those in isolation, however, will leave in place all the other cliff edges. And we need to look at this challenging poverty in the round.
And if I may make one suggestion to the government, and this was alluded to by the honourable member who's just spoken, there should have been some serious debate about tapering or anything else. No, I tell you what this is all about. This is about a punishment beating. The new Labour government decided, a punishment beating, the new Labour government decided they had to make their case that the public finances were in a dire state. There was this 22 billion black hole.
You spent it.
We spend £1,200 billion every year. This 22 billion so-called black hole is a mere accounting device. And this whole debate, what the Labour government are now trying to do is to make the political point that the Conservative Party ran the country into the ground and therefore we've got to punish the pensioners. It's absolute and complete rubbish. And what those we represent can't understand, these people who worked hard all their life, who've done their bit for the country, who their total package is perhaps £13,000 or £14,000 a year, what they can't understand is that this so-called saving of public money is actually going to go to train drivers who earn £70,000 a year. They just don't understand it.
9 million.
So for God's sake, let's have a serious debate. Let's try and unite on this issue, and let's not keep taking away benefits from people just above the pension credit.
What do you make of this £22 billion black hole? Do you think it real? Let me know in the comments. In other news, Labour has been hit with a dozen by-election defeats in less than a month as it finds itself plunged into controversy. Sir Keir Starmer's party has lost council seats across the country since mid-September in a blow to his premiership in his first months in office. Labour has had a net loss of 11 councillors since September 16th, with analysts warning that the by-election results confirm the lack of honeymoon for the Prime Minister, with voters already looking to punish Labour. It comes after weeks of negative headlines for the government over Sir Keir and other cabinet ministers accepting donations and freebies. Reform UK secured a win in Ahina and Loscoe Town Council in Derbyshire and in Marton Blackpool from Labour. The latter was described by Lee Anderson, the party's whip and Ashfield MP, as a political tsunami. Meanwhile, the Conservatives have gained 5 council seats from Labour in areas such as St Albans, Worthing in Sussex and in Wales. The Green Party won the Scotforth East by-election for Lancaster City Council, strengthening its number of councillors as the district's biggest political group. In Scotland, the SNP have won by-elections for Dundee City Council, with Scottish Labour losing a seat in Lochee. The next local elections, excluding by-elections, are scheduled for May 2025. These polls may see Labour take further losses at a local level, as council elections are often seen by dissatisfied voters as a chance to show their frustration with the party in government. Writing about Reform UK's successes, Lee Anderson MP said, "A political tsunami is coming our way. Massive gain here from Labour. This is how the path to victory in 2029 starts." SNP Deputy Leader Keith Brown said, "This is a fantastic double win for the SNP and a real vote of confidence from the people of Lochie and Strathmartine. Our incredible candidates Lee Mills and Jimmy Black, alongside our amazing activists, took the SNP's positive message to voters on doorsteps across Dundee and repeatedly heard about betrayal felt following the first few weeks of a Labour government. The results come as the Prime Minister received thousands of pounds from Lord Ali, a Labour peer, for glasses and clothing, including for his wife, and the use of an £18 million penthouse during the election campaign. Members of his frontbench team have also declared large donations from the peer. Cabinet ministers have come under scrutiny for accepting freebies such as concert and football match tickets. Sir Keir last week announced that he would be giving back more than £6,000 for the freebies he had received since entering Downing Street, but said his colleagues did not need to follow suit. In other news, Rachel Reeves is likely to drop her plans for a controversial tax on pension savings. This proposal, which aimed to cut tax relief for high earners, faced backlash for its potential negative effects on public sector workers. Treasury officials warned that the plan would disproportionately hit those on modest salaries in public roles, like nurses earning £50,000 who could see an extra annual tax bill of up to £1,000. The intention was to generate funds by lowering the 40% tax relief for higher earners, but there were concerns about its fairness, especially after recent pay raises for public sector workers. Union leaders opposed the proposal, with Vishal Sharma from the BMA stating it could undermine the recent pay increases and reignite disputes within the NHS. Former Pensions Minister Steve Webb also suggested Reeves would hesitate to pursue this after settling pay agreements with unions. This decision follows Labour's earlier move to abandon plans for reintroducing a cap on the lifetime allowance for pension savings, which had raised concerns during the election campaign about its effects on junior doctors and public sector employees. With limited options, Reeves is now looking at alternative ways to generate the £16 billion needed to address the public finance shortfall. She is expected to present significant measures to the Office for Budget Responsibility soon. Potential changes include adjustments to capital gains tax, currently taxed at lower rates than income tax, and closing inheritance tax loopholes, which could raise £4 billion. Another consideration is reducing the tax-free amount people can withdraw from their pension pots at retirement, currently set at £268,275, which costs the government £5.5 billion annually. While dropping the pension tax rate might ease concerns for public sector workers, worries persist for pensioners. Dennis Reed, director of Silver Voices, cautioned that the government could impose further cuts to benefits for seniors, suggesting that if they navigate this issue successfully, they may tighten benefits like free prescriptions and bus passes. Reed urged older citizens to advocate for their rights, especially following Labour's cut to the winter fuel payment. The potential reduction in tax-free pension withdrawals could significantly affect retirees' financial planning and raises ongoing concerns about pensioner benefits in the UK. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.